Bula FM nambando na serena iwan siningaw na di ba tara ni sibiti ko weekend na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti wala bengrabe na nontan nonongo kanda na dapat ko anin rona kaloko en ay kami din debo bili na tayo wali ni may dapat ko na wani matakabo kan lib sarti ko na bisere talio ni na namaka do ba tayo may kine na kenan daw ro di kanamaki Bula binaka ayo salamilawa do ba tayo kiyawan na ba tara na wani vio na kaloko moni tiki na ba rumbuka en ang Bula FM nambandua en na serena
Tonight, 20-member cabinet to have ministers and assistant ministers. Ministers sworn in today promised to work for the betterment of Fiji. And Dr. Chico Luveni confirmed as Fiji's first female Speaker of the House. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama is ready for Parliament after the swearing-in of his cabinet today.
We're going to go in there and talk about moving Fiji forward. Are they ready for that? Moving Fiji forward with regards to our economy, to bringing in investors. Are they ready for that? We're going to build on our infrastructure. We're going to bring about our manifesto. Are they ready for that? What are they talking about? We are ready for that.
Bainimarama, however, had another issue concerning the letter circulated before the election. Fiji now has a 20-member cabinet. The ministers took an oath before the president this afternoon. Shanal Sivan takes a look at who from the Fiji First now have ministerial portfolios. Shanal.
Thank you, Jackie. It's led by Vurenge Bainimarama as Prime Minister. Aya Syed Kayum is the Minister for Finance, Public Enterprise, Public Service Commission and Tourism. He is no longer the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. These two portfolios have been taken by Fayaz Koya, one of the new ministers in the Fiji First government. Koya is the son of late and former NFP leader Siddiq Koya. Piyoti Konduandua, the former permanent secretary in the Prime Minister's office, is the new Minister for Infrastructure and Transport. Pravin Kumar has been appointed as Minister for Local Government and Housing and Environment. The former Permanent Secretary for Justice, Mereseni Vuniwanga, is the new Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources. Osea Nangamu, who was previously the Chief Executive of the Fiji Pine Trust, is the Minister for Fisheries and Forest. Inia Seratu retains his position as Minister for Agriculture, Land, Maritime Development and Natural Disaster Management. Inoke Komambola continues as Minister for Foreign Affairs. Timothy Natuva's portfolios have completely changed. He is now the Minister for Migration, National Security and Defence. Former Labour Minister Chone Osemate has been appointed Minister for Health and Medical Services. Dr. Mahendra Reddy takes over as Minister for Education and Heritage and Arts. Chochi Konrote is the Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations. Minister for Youth and Sports is Lesenia Tuitombo. Rosie Akbar is the Minister for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation. Jackie, Cabinet will also be comprising of 5 assistant ministers. Lorna Eden, Minister for Finance, Public Enterprise, Public Service, Trade and Tourism. Joeli Dawaki, Assistant Minister for Agriculture, Rural Maritime Development, Natural Disaster Management. Veena Bhatnagar, Assistant Minister for Health. Vijay Nath, Assistant Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts. Paralympics gold medalist Ilyasan Delana is the Assistant Minister for Youth and Sports. The only former minister who did not get a portfolio is Dr. Neil Sharma. Jackie.
Thanks for that update. Newly appointed Finance Minister Syed Kayum says the previous government worked together as a team and they are familiar with a lot of the work that has been done. Speaking to the media after the swearing-in ceremony this afternoon, Syed Kayum paid tribute to his predecessor.
Of course, the platform has been set by the former Minister of Finance, who is the Prime Minister, where he set the fundamentals in place. Essentially, what we have to do is carry it forward. Of course, there's a little bit of fine-tuning that we need to do. There's aspects of the manifesto that needs to be included. in the budget, in particular for next year, and that's what we'll be working on in the next few weeks.
Said Kayum will be presenting his first national budget, which is expected in November. The new Attorney General and Justice Minister Fayaz Koya says he is grateful as it is one of the best days of his life to hold this new portfolio. Koya, who is a lawyer by profession, says he has a great legacy to look back on, which is left behind by the former Attorney General.
It's just continuation of what he's done and looking forward to it.
Any immediate plans you have for your ministry?
No, I got to get in there first, find out what's happening. As I say, I know a little bit from before what the AG left behind, but I really got to get in there first before I see what's happening.
Minister for Infrastructure and Transport Pioti Kunduandua says while the position may be a challenge, he is looking forward to it.
I cannot say that I was surprised. I think I was being considered initially, given that I was former chairman for road and permanent secretary responsible for roads, and I was doing work in the area of infrastructure. So the appointment to this particular portfolio, I think, is complemented by the fact that I've been doing some work in that area previously as permanent secretary.
Former Minister for Labour Chone Usumate has been appointed as the new Minister for Health and Medical Services. Usumate takes over the ministry from Dr. Neil Sharma in one of the surprise announcements this afternoon. He is a former Chief Executive of the Training and Productivity Authority of Fiji and was appointed Minister for Labour in 2012.
Well, the health ministry is one of the biggest and the most important in Fiji, so getting this portfolio is a huge challenge for me. It's not something that I have expertise in, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of professionals that I'll be able to call upon. I think over the next few days my aim is to learn as much as possible about what the challenges are, what the situation we are in, and then work with those the experts that are there and get good people on board to be able to map out the future so that we can deliver better health services.
Dr. Chico Loveni will be the new Speaker for the House of Representatives. Her appointment has been gazetted, making her the first woman to take on the role of Speaker of Parliament. She says she is humbled.
Big shoes to fill, but for the women of Fiji, being the first woman Speaker in this country, I have a big responsibility to prove ourselves as women that we are able to also play such position as the Speaker.
Dr. Loveni was previously the Minister for Women, Social Welfare and Poverty in the previous government. After the break, more reactions from new government ministers.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। हाय मिर्ची एफएम पर मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। शामिल हो जाएगा हमारे साथ टू नाइट शो में Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. मिर्ची एफएम। It's fun but you're never gonna get it, तेरे हाथ से कभी ना आनी, मानी ना मानी।
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Newly sworn-in Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts, Dr. Mahendra Reddy says he needs to hold a briefing with his staff at the ministry. Dr. Reddy says this will give him an idea of the operational side of the things, while he does have policy and strategy ideas for the ministry.
That is the issues of quality, refocusing the school system. As you know, in the manifesto we have decided, the government has decided to separate out the technical workshops from the schools into having separate technical colleges, for certificate 1, 2, up to certificate 1 and 2. So those are some of the things that we need to immediately start work on. The other issue that we need to look at is the quality side. It's a bit worrying when you talk to various stakeholders, the quality of graduates. But you can't only look at the university system. You have to go down to the primary school level.
Immigration and National Security Minister Timothy Natuva says he will await the briefing of his permanent secretary before deciding on his next step. Natuva says he will learn from the staff who are already there and try to adapt himself to the plans they have already rolled out.
I have to look at the strategic plan for the ministry, and the permanent secretary have to brief me on what they already plan and for the next 5 years, and I have a look at that and how I can fit into the plan and relate it to what the government intent is for the next 5 years.
Former Permanent Secretary for Justice Mereseni Vuniwanga has been appointed Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources. She says her ministry is a very sensitive one, but she will work within the law. She also says being a woman minister is a challenge.
Looking forward, it's a big ministry, and it's one ministry that interacts a lot with members of the public, has a lot of customers. My priority, I guess, after taking stock would be to look at all the procedures within, the processes, to make it more customer friendly in furtherance of the reforms that the Bainimarama government had started 8 years ago.
New Local Government, Housing and Environment Minister Praveen Kumar says the first order of business is to hold municipal elections. Kumar, who is a former mayor and special administrator, says he will be visiting all the towns next week to brief them on the upcoming elections. Kumar also spoke about his plans for the Housing and Environment Ministry. Also ready for her role as Minister for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation is Rosie Sophia Akbar, who was careful to give credit where it was due.
This is a continuation of the work that was started 7-8 years ago, and Dr. Chiku has done a commendable job. I think we must all commend her for a job well done all these years, and I need to live up to the expectations of Fiji, because Dr. Chiku's work is commendable. So at the moment we are just going to continue with whatever policies, reforms and mechanisms are there, but if and when need arises, we will look at anomalies and address that.
For Akbar, this is the first time for her to be in Parliament. Newly appointed Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations Minister Chiochi Konrote says he will have discussions with his predecessor about the job. Konrote says although he has a military background, he's more than ready to take on the challenge.
I have a lot to learn, let's put it that way. And I intend to learn as quickly as possible so that I can be helpful, to do the right thing and help move the nation forward and help the Prime Minister get things done.
Inies Seroiratu has been reappointed Minister for Agriculture, Rural and Maritime Development and National Disaster Management. He held these ministerial portfolios previously, but this time he no longer holds the fisheries and forest roles under his new appointment. Seroiratu is one of the few ministers to have retained his role.
I'm glad that I'm back in agriculture and of course in rural development as well. There's a lot of work to be done in those ministries. For agriculture particularly, we are looking at targeting our export levels. We need to increase our export levels so that we can further increase our contribution to GDP and at the same time reduce our import levels as well.
It's sports now. Jamie, what do you have for us?
Good evening. Coming up, Minister for Youth and Sports Laisinea Tuitumbo and Assistant Minister Ilesan Delano sworn into Cabinet this afternoon, ready to serve their 4-year term, and Ben Ryan impressed with Aisake Katunimbau's work ethic in the Fiji 7 squad. These stories and more after the break.
तो आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि जो बलात्कार हो रही हैं इसको कैसे रोक सकते हैं? आप हमें अपनी राय दे सकते हैं श्रोताओं की जो आग लग रही है दोष किसका है? किसको हम दोष दे सकते हैं? इस पर हम किसको दोष दें? ड्राइवर्स को या फिर पुलिस को? नमस्ते फीजी, देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 पर मैं मोहिनी। हमारे साथ में शामिल हो जाइएगा दृष्टिकोण प्रोग्राम में हर सोमवार से शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से 8 बजे तक दृष्टिकोण प्रोग्राम में।
Ni sabulu bina kana turanga kini marama ni bulu bina kana dor bo kini mone lewa. Ni sabulu bina kana mone en go talem no ngona ni wawe katalau en mataka en nei.
En vindelana mai nei tasiri.
No bulu maleka go ni milote nei sorta boa.
En lomo ni bonua mai sianganga.
Eu bulu go Samuel. Na nota ngona ni wawe katalau en radio Fiji wan nandomo vitina vonga ni venu. Mai no kini ziwa en bi mataka moni tikina paruka. Nika inamaka.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The newly elected Minister for Youth and Sports, Laisine Tuitumbo, was as surprised as anyone by his new appointment. The former Commissioner Central says development will be the key focus of the ministry during his 4-year term.
It was a surprise. It really was a surprise, and I would like to thank the Prime Minister for having that confidence on me to be the. But it's just the continuation of the services that has been granted during the time of as a Commissioner Central Division, former Commissioner Central Division, and particularly this one will be concentrating on this ministry.
Meanwhile, Assistant Minister for Youth and Sports, Ilesan Delana, is already looking for ways to improve sports in the country. He says although he's an assistant minister, he has a lot to contribute because he comes from a sporting background.
There's a big task ahead of me in the next 4 years on this role, and I'm looking forward to work with the people out there. Yes, I love this position that is given to me, especially in sports, and yes, I'm looking forward to come around and improve the field of sports in the country.
Delana was one of 5 assistant ministers that were sworn into office today at Government House. Recalled Sevens player Isake Katunimbao is expected to make a grand showing in the Gold Coast Sevens next month. National coach Ben Ryan has been impressed by the Lanky Suva Centre's work ethic in camp, as well as at the Ovalau Sevens last weekend.
So Ice, we've played mainly as a prop at the weekend in Ovalau, knowing that he can also play rover as well. He's one of our leaders. He's hopefully going to be one of those players that will have uncompromising as something that people will talk about. He takes us forward. He works hard. He motivates the rest of the boys.
Ryan adds Katunimbao's main asset within the team is his leadership qualities.
I've enjoyed working with him. He also asks questions, and he's not prepared. He's prepared to question what I'm doing, and I want that as a coach. I don't want 12 players that just nod their heads and raise their eyebrows. I want to be challenged. I think he's a player that will do that for me.
The Fiji Football Association is urging all districts not to deter players from taking advantage of the player transfer window. With the court's inter-district championship around the corner, Fiji FA wants to ensure that the players are guaranteed the right to play for any district.
We are urging on the district associations not to hold on to any of the requests. They should respond either they are in the position to give transfers or they are in a position not to give transfer. The only reason they will not be able to give transfers if there is a player contract, where a player has a valid contract with the association which requires to be fulfilled before they can be released. But if there is a dispute, then they must immediately register the dispute. So we are insisting on the district association that they should respond and tell the player where he stands.
The player transfer window will close on September 30th. The inaugural Suva Marathon is shaping up to be a major event next weekend. Organizers have managed to secure sponsors for the race, with the number of participants steadily increasing as race day approaches. Talenda Dakadaka has more.
The Suva Marathon race, scheduled for next Saturday, is gearing up to be a major event. Organizers are now in a race against time to secure support staff to ensure the competition runs smoothly.
We've put a lot on our plate. It's a big event, but we're confident that it's going to run smoothly on the day. We have got plenty of volunteers already, and we're always looking for more. So if anyone's keen on volunteering in the day and not keen on running, then they can go to our website, suvamarathon.org, and sign up. We need people like marshals and people to hand out water, to look after the competitors, to make sure they make it around the course.
A highlight of the event will be the presence of National 7 skipper Osea Kulinisau and Police Commissioner Ben Honevald to fire the starting gun for 2 of the 3 races.
There's going to be 3 events: the full marathon, the half marathon and the team marathon, where 4 people will be doing 10.5k each. Full details of all of them are available on our website, suvarmarathon.org, and entry forms can be filled in at Red Cross shop on Gorrie Street.
200 people have signed up so far, with interest coming from as far as Arizona in the United States. The race will begin from Albert Park to Maisuva Park and back. Tsalendo Kavak, FBC Sports.
Liverpool reached the 4th round of the League Cup after winning an epic penalty shootout 15-14 at home over Middlesbrough, with the teams ending extra time tied at 2-2. Middlesbrough's Albert Adoma brought the gripping penalty contest to an end when he fired wide after both teams had kept their nerve in sudden death, shattering the record for the longest shootout in the League Cup.
Enrique. And again. And Balotelli going for it. And drilled in by Suso. Time in extra time. It's Bamford. It's 2-2. And this is heading for spot kicks by the formidable figure of Mario Balotelli. Substituted. Clayton then. Taker number 9 for Liverpool. Scorer number 8 for Liverpool. Jamal Blackman. And we're going to go round again, because all 11 players from each side have taken penalties. Albert Adoma, he's missed. Liverpool go through at the end of a marathon penalty shootout.
That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
The Fiji Roads Authority will spend around $33.6 million in the widening of Enamanu Road to Narewa Village and Narewa Road to Wailolo Road in Nandi. There will be an upgrade on the existing 2 lanes plus a 3.3-kilometre additional 2-lane on the Queen's Road. The total length will be a 6-kilometre upgrade, with the FRA awarding the contract to the China Railway 5th Group. Meanwhile, a total of $65.9 million will be spent on the upgrade of a 6-kilometre road widening project from Nasoso Road to the Votolevu roundabout. The work will involve the upgrade of 2 new lanes to the existing 2 lanes. The contract has been awarded to leading New Zealand civil construction contractor Higgins. The alternative new road to Denarau is expected to significantly ease traffic congestion in the tourism town. And it's weather time now with the lovely Trish.
Thank you, Jackie. Let's take a look at today's conditions, which were the same as yesterday. Suva and Savu have fine weather and cloudy skies in the morning and the afternoon. As for the west, Nandi Lotokamba, and for the north, Lambasa, all had fair conditions throughout the day. Now with temperatures. Suva 28, Nandi 30, Lotoka 29, Ba hit 30, Lambasa 31, Savu with a cool 27. Tomorrow's forecast, same as today. Expect fair conditions with cloudy skies all day for Savu and Suva. As for the rest of the centers, might have fine weather all day. For mariners, a strong wind warning remains in force for Vatuira Passage and northern Vanuatu waters. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and rough seas. Image of the day of Suva Point, courtesy of John English.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping the headlines. Fiji will have a 20-member cabinet led by the Prime Minister, 14 ministers and 5 assistant ministers. Ministers sworn in today promised to work for the betterment of Fiji, and Dr. Chico Loveni confirmed as Fiji's first female Speaker of the House. That's news for tonight. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News or FBCTV. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or at FBC_TV or simply hashtag FBC News or hashtag FBCTV. You can also find us on YouTube, FBC TV 2011, or on Instagram, FBCTV. We'll be back again tomorrow evening at the same time. Until then, bye for now.
Hey, how's it going, PG? You're the afternoon step with Josie. And of course, I've got more good hits lined up for you, so stay tuned for that. But right now, check this song out, man. It's Golden City coming at you, doing Amity K, Ready for Your Love, right here on Today FM.
Beta boleh guna sabuti mai, hena guna baru taki na yan rubongi kevika. Na mau to mai buka tali tu na bisere waraki muni na guna baru taki go na yan rubongi enam pula FM. Nimbolo benaka, oya ubika na isoro ranyo na tomani o mai na vito na kabe kina tini karuan ng bongi lebu. Ena guna baru taki sekoya na yan rubongi enam pula FM enam bandua ena sere.